students, inspire young people, and help others. Everyone respected him a lot. I heard from my grandfather and the Sarmagara from Rajahmundry that Master Ike taught people spiritual and healthy living and group living and group their prayers. I listened and learned from him. Namaskaram to Master. He believed that learning should not just be for books, but also about living a good life, a good and helpful life. He taught everyone to be disciplined, kind, caring, and he led a disciplined and ideal life, inspiring others through his example. Master Ike loved Telugu and Sanskrit languages. He explained big ideas from the Vedas and other sacred books in simple words so that everyone could understand. He showed how this wisdom could be used in daily life. Here are some examples through his writing in the books Sakhavarnam, Varam, Madhya Gita, and Yoga Stutangalu, and etc. He made the sacred Bhagavad Gita into simple words useful in daily life. I wish to read these books in the future. In 1971, he established a World Literature to spread wisdom through history. He started many activities to guide schools, students, and society. In 1972, he established the Vani printers and started publishing Navani monthly newsletter. In 1977, he started the Balabhanu Vidyalaya children's school in English medium, focusing on primary education. Same year from Radhamadhavam, he carried out many activities, including building trust offices and organizing programs for the public. He attended 5 important World Teacher Conferences in 1972, 1974, 1975, 1976, 1981, 1982, 1983, and 1983, representing the country and sharing his knowledge. Master Ichekaru is known to build a strong and beautiful bridge of friendship and spiritual understanding between the people of the East and West. Whether he was teaching, giving speeches, or writing books, he worked with love and dedication. People loved him because he cared for them like a friend. Master Ike was full of service, kindness, and purity. He is remembered as a great person who helped many people live better lives. Thank you, everyone, for listening to me.
Next is Kalyani Ganugula. She is daughter of Vijay and Jahanavi Ganugula and granddaughter of Jayalakshmi Ganugula. It seems like she prepared very well. Very excited. You don't want to go. And last time she gave presentation about Shiva. Actually,
my name is Kalyani. Today I'm going to talk about Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi lives in Vaikuntham. Lakshmi Devi lives on a lotus flower and a snake. Lakshmi Devi has a lot of money and wealth. Lakshmi Devi, Sita Devi, Rukmini Devi, Padma Devi. Lakshmi Devi and Vishnumurti live together.
she is Divya Aditi. She is daughter of Shivaji and Sapna Aditi and granddaughter of Meera.
Hi. Hi. So today I wanted to share my take on Master Ike's life and everything that he did, as well as how he can inspire anyone. So before learning about him, I never really thought much about what it means to live a meaningful life or to help others. But after reading about him and everything he did, something clicked. He wasn't just a spiritual teacher or doctor. He was someone who truly lived to serve others, and that really stuck with me. And even as a child, he was incredibly wise. At just 7 years old, he was already asking deep questions about life and surprising adults with how much he understood. Instead of a regular education, he learned by reading sacred books at home, the Vedas, the Upanishads, and grew up surrounded by deep spiritual knowledge. What inspired me was how he lived out his ideals so fully. He traveled, gave talks, met people from many different walks of life, and wrote more than 80 books, all not for fame, but simply to serve. His message about balance stood out to me, balancing rest, work, and food to stay healthy, balancing learning, meditating, and helping others. And he once said something along the lines of that we should serve others so fully that we forget ourselves, not in a harmful way, but in a way where the ego just steps aside. And that made me realize how often I, and probably many others here, get caught up in everyday things such as school, stress, social media, and thinking about the future. But learning about Master Ike made me ask myself, am I living in a way that helps others? And am I listening to a deeper purpose? And he reminded me that spirituality isn't about rituals or perfection. It's about how we treat people every day with kindness, care, and a willingness to serve. And what touched me most is how many people saw him not just as a teacher, but as someone they could trust completely, like a guide, a father, or a father figure, and someone who stays grounded when things get tough, someone who serves quietly without needing praise. And so, if there's one thing I've taken from learning about him, it's that you should live in a way that helps others, keep your life balanced, and always keep growing, not just for yourself, but for the people around you too. Thank you.
Next is Viraj Talari. He is son of Surya and Mridula Talari.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Viraj Talari. I'm 16 years old and a senior in high school. Recently, I read a chapter from Master Ike's book, The Science of Man, specifically chapter 3, Fear as Complex. Master Ike teaches that fear has been a part of life for millions of years. Fear began in humans as an animal instinct, which was a useful reaction when danger is right in front of you, and it was necessary for keeping our ancestors alive in the wilderness. But as times have changed, we have become influenced by a much larger kind of fear, intellectual fear. This is the kind of worry that lives only in our minds. We've moved past worrying about tigers in the bushes, but instead now we worry about the future, about what ifs. Some examples of this fear are the fear of losing property, relationships, social status, and health, even when these losses aren't actually happening. We also usually think of possessions and people as things we must keep forever. And that attachment and expectation also builds a constant worry about losing them. Now, as I was reading these examples of fear, I saw how much I related to it and how much they apply to my own life as well. As a senior in high school, getting ready to go for college and applying, and like getting ready to go into adulthood, and there's a lot of pressure from others, which later became pressure like within myself to make the most of my opportunities. And this pressure and all these other like worries that I have scare me a lot. And these worries have only grown larger as time progresses. And while these worries may keep us ready for what may come, for the majority of people, they shape most of our daily stress and take away from the joy that life can bring. While reading this chapter, I wondered, if this fear is so negative to us, why do we suffer from this fear in the first place? Master Ike explains this as well. We are afraid because we can remember and imagine. Our mind can replay past mistakes and invent future disasters very vividly. Every small thing that can go wrong, the mind worries that it will go wrong. The smarter we are at thinking, the better we become at building stories that scare us. Master Ike explains that intelligence can make primitive fear much bigger. As he explains, instead of simply running from danger, our thoughts make danger into a long movie that never ends. The most important part of this chapter and Master Ike's teaching is how to overcome this intellectual fear. His advice for getting rid of this fear is to first understand that most fear is self-made and absolutely useless. His advice is to name your fear out loud, like saying, "I'm afraid of failing this test." By doing this, it already shrinks the problem from a massive feeling to a simple sentence the mind can comprehend. Second, he suggests doing useful work. Doing something useful to our problems breaks the endless loop of worrying. When we focus on practice, study, exercise, or helping someone else, our mind shifts from being afraid to solving these problems. The ultimate goal over time is to develop a center of awareness inside yourself. Master Ike calls this the will, or the deeper self. It is a calm place that watches your thoughts and thinks rationally without being overwhelmed by the fear. He explains that we will never stop being afraid, as that is human nature, but we have to learn how to act from our will anyways. As we practice and develop our deeper selves, he explains how our identities will move from thinking I am my fear to I am one who watches and decides. In my experience, this process is very slow, and developing my deeper self seems extremely difficult. But Master Ike explains his experiences of working through fear and how this long process is worth it in the end. From reading this one chapter alone, the biggest thing I learned is that real courage isn't not being afraid. Real courage is learning how to be calm and act from the confidence inside us, even when we have many worries in our mind. Master Ike reminds us that when we live from the center of confidence, fear loses its power and we can move forward with purpose. As stated by Master Ike, it is the duty of the human being to get out of the intellectual fear, if at all he wants to taste happiness. Thank you.
Any other kids interest to talk? And by the way, that was very well, great, excellent presentation by all the kids. Actually, they were not given really long time, though they were given very short time. They came forward prepared. And then one day in the future, I'm looking forward for all of you to host an event like this, and we will be attending as guests in the seats back, and we will be driving the show. And also now Chetna came. Chetna, I want to talk.
Oh, yeah.
Chetna. Yeah, actually, no, she went outside, and actually we just came from India, and then Isha was also supposed to talk. Maybe she's sleeping at home. We'll see. And yeah. Chetna is daughter of Swami and Deepa Varada, and little sister of Isha Varada, and my name is Swami.
Okay, this is a little unprepared because I did this at like 3 a.m. due to jet lag. But so basically, Master Ike's point of view differed from many other people. For example, in meditation, many people's common view is they see meditation as a way to escape reality, as a way to move away from the chaos. However, Master Ike's belief in meditation is to face the chaos and face reality and fight it and sort all the chaos going in their lives out. So, for example, a lot of people's common practice is that they like to meditate in like isolated rooms, right? And they like having peace before they meditate. That's not like the right way to do it because they believe isolation leads to peace. However, over isolation can harm the true meditation. For example, this is a paraphrase quote from the Spiritual Constitution Overseas Message Volume 4, so that many people meditate in postures such as Padmasana and Siddhasana for hours in isolation. However, this leads to nervousness and they are unable to handle chaos and they feel superior over others and all they see is the chaos within others because they're stuck in peace for so long, right? So the only thing they see is like the breakage of peace, right? So instead, true inner peace comes by standing at the center of chaos and learning how to push it aside. And it doesn't mean like just sitting quietly on the ground when things go hectic. It means going out and engaging with the world, showing your service to other people, and many people say meditation without service is incomplete because meditation yourself and meditating without like giving service, being a good person means your meditation is incomplete. It means you haven't found your inner peace. Meaning you need to sit down for a little while and sort things out for a longer amount of time, right? And Master Ike used meditation to solve life's problems. Due to his medication, he became more peaceful, more of a person who helps sort out chaos. Therefore, he became a healer and a teacher in order to help many other people, right? And he also went through many helpful services. For example, he was a homeopathic doctor who freely treated patients without charging any money. And unlike many doctors, he addressed the mind, body, and the soul all together, right? And he founded World Teacher Trust as a free center for spiritual learning, healing, and even teaching. And he spread the spiritual wisdom in many people's native languages to make teachings accessible. And he authored over 50 books. And just like every other spiritual leader, he challenged cultural boundaries to share spiritual teachings worldwide. For example, there are many other different religions, right? Obviously, like all spiritual leaders, they push through the cultural boundaries and try to make all religions as one. Yeah, that's it. That's all I want.
Okay. Anyone else? Otherwise, again, thank you all the kids. That was an excellent presentation. Actually, to my little mind, few things struck was, when you are afraid of something, Master Rika suggests just work on things. The work will liberate you from whatever problem you have. And another thing someone mentioned is spirituality is not about prayer or ritual. Spirituality is about how you treat other people. I think I need to remember, and maybe even all of us need to remember. And thank you again, Chris. Great presentation.